So I got this Doodlebug off a guy in the club, and going to put a DCC decoder in it. These are a major pain to get open. I didn't start the video before I got it open, but it is open. I busted the LED in the process, so I'm gonna replace that anyways. But as you can see, the left side pickup is wired in on one side, and the right side is just using the chassis. So looks like I'm gonna have to take these little tiny screws out so I can get under here and see where that pickup is, you know, where it's connected to the chassis. I'll have to isolate that connection. So it looks like the motor contact just comes off of that board. So the chassis probably connects to this conductor, probably through this screw. So if we just isolate that, should be a pretty easy install. There's not really anywhere to hide the decoder, so it's probably just going to end up hanging out here in the passenger compartment. I'll see if I can make that look half decent. Or maybe if I kind of glaze the windows or something so you can't see it in there, but it still lights up. Maybe that'll look okay. But I'm really smart. I did not test this before I got into this project. So maybe we should do that before we get too far into it. Well, it does run, so that's good. Well, we'll see if I can get this going on DCC and not kill it. So, as I suspected, the chassis pickup is coming up this knob and making contact with this strip whenever the screw's in place. So if I can isolate that, then I can just pull my power off the chassis and the other pickup. Hook my red and black to the DCC decoder, and then the orange and gray I can just go straight to these contacts which feed the motor. So as long as I can isolate those, that should be good. And then obviously the LEDs are tied directly into the DC power here, so I'll just have to redo the LEDs to come off the DCC decoder as well. Looking at how those screws go in and how they line up, I think my best bet is just to cover this side. Just use my toothpick instead of my thumb, I'm too zoomed in. Cover this side with Kapton tape, and then only screw it in on this side. That way there's no chance that the screw is going to make contact, you know, because otherwise I'd have to have a hole in the tape and it's probably going to end up shorting out. So I think if I just cover that and only screw it down with one screw, I think I'll be fine. It's just a little circuit board just to hold it in place. Well, my battery died, so you didn't get to see any actual work, but I do have the power hooked up to the decoder. I haven't done the lights yet, but it's always good to do an operation test before you get too far into it. And that looks good. So no magic smoke came out of the decoder, so that was easier than I expected. So anyways, back at the workbench, the left side pickup wire, and there was another one that runs under the floor from the back truck, used to be soldered onto here, which feeds the motor. So I disconnected those and brought them up here and wired them onto the black wire to the decoder, and I will put some electrical tape on there. On the other side, the pickup from both the front and rear trucks just contact the chassis, and so this screw was hitting this copper strip that was on the PCB to come in here to the contact to the motor. Initially I put a piece of Kapton tape over the exposed part on the underside of this PCB, and then I realized that, and I was going to leave this screw out because I thought if it poked a hole through the tape, it's probably going to short out. But having a screw on both sides is what keeps these contacts snug against the motor. They're kind of not really spring-loaded, but you know what I mean. It's a compression fit. So I took the Dremel and just kind of got rid of that copper strip. So that isolated the motor, or isolated this contact from the chassis. So I soldered the red lead to the decoder straight to the chassis, scraped some of the paint off, and soldered that on. And then of course from the decoder, the contacts that go to the motor, the orange and the gray. So pretty simple. Could have been a lot more complicated, I suppose, but it's pretty simple to isolate that and get it going. Now, since I broke the LED on the front, I need to replace that anyways, and I took out the light diffuser that was over the passenger compartment and the LED that was in it. And so what I plan on doing is putting an LED at the front for the headlight and the cab lights, and then an LED in the passenger compartment. Those will both be hooked up to the forward lights. I don't know if I'm going to put a reverse light in. That'll complicate lighting the passenger compartment for sure. But then I think I'm going to put like a flat clear or something over the windows so that you can't see all this stuff hanging out in the passenger compartment. Just kind of frost the windows a bit. What have I done with my LEDs? My work area is such a mess. Well, I got it back together. I'm terrible at soldering, especially resistors and LEDs, and the very tiny LEDs I was using really couldn't get them to solder easily without burning them out. And anyways, so I used some connectors, and that left the wires way too long and kind of a messy installation. Works, not happy with it. So I had to kind of tape it down to get everything to fit in there. So as you can see, the blue tape through the windows. I'm obviously going to take it back apart and do something about that. So I put an LED in the passenger compartment, but obviously with the windows blocked, that was kind of pointless. So I'm going to put it on the track now that it's together and see how it runs, see if the lights show up at all. But I'm probably going to rework some of this later. So it works. Got the headlights. And something's derailed. I see some light in there, but it's not very bright. And then of course the passenger compartment's blocked. So I'm gonna have to fiddle with that some. See what's up with the with the lights and see if I can get it running a little bit better.